Yep.
That's it. It'll take 5 seconds.
The reason we're out here is we're obviously gun violence.
And the FBI is assisting us with that leg of the investigation in Baltimore.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
Listen, I'm not getting up.
I have no problem making this.
I just want to see if anybody from Trade Precinct can respond as well.
Harming others, they can cause a lot of destruction.
And I talked to him, I looked up the local ATF records, I've looked up the primary charging documents, all of those sorts of things.
Number 4. NAGR member stands ground. A recent incident involving a National Association for Gun Rights, or NAGR, member sheds light on the ongoing legal battles over the forced reset trigger and ATF's attempts to enforce a seizure despite a preliminary injunction issued on October 7. The NAGR member received a call from an ATF agent aiming to retrieve the FRT, classified as a machine gun and deemed illegal for possession. The preliminary injunction, secured by NAGR on October 7, was designed to protect its members from ATF harassment regarding the FRT. However, the ATF's swift attempt to enforce the seizure just days after the injunction raises questions about compliance and respect for the legal order. The recorded conversation between the NAGR member and the ATF agent provides a glimpse into the standoff. The member, invoking the injunction, stated that there is a legal order preventing ATF harassment of NAGR members in possession of the FRT. Despite this, the ATF agent continued to press for the surrender of the trigger, emphasizing its classification as illegal.
It's not going to stop people that want to do crime. It's not going to stop anybody to say, oh.
Yep.
That's it. It'll take 5 seconds.
The reason we're out here is we're obviously gun violence.
You can't buy a ghost gun anymore, because guess what? Somebody's going to start doing it in their basement.
If you can unload them and bring them out, or you can go out to your...
The NAGR member, demonstrating poise and adherence to legal rights, refused to provide any information or comply with the ATF's demand. He repeatedly mentioned the existence of the injunction and expressed his unwillingness to engage in the conversation. The ATF agent, however, persisted and indicated the agency's intention to visit the member's house and secure an affidavit stating that the FRT was no longer in his possession. The tone of the conversation shifted as the ATF agent became increasingly insistent and expressed the agency's resolve to carry out the seizure or obtain the required affidavit. The NAGR member, maintaining his composure, reiterated his position and concluded the call, anticipating future contact from the ATF. NAGR's legal team, aware of the situation, promptly engaged with the Department of Justice to address the ATF's action. The NAGR member's refusal to comply with the ATF's demands, coupled with the legal groundwork laid by NAGR's attorneys, seemed to have temporarily deterred the ATF from proceeding with the seizure. Number 3. Disputed accounts and ongoing investigation. A recent ATF raid in an Arlington neighborhood has sparked controversy and raised concerns after federal agents opened fire, leading to the arrest of 27-year-old Darnell Rice, an armed security guard. The incident, captured on video obtained by News4JAX's I-Team, has prompted conflicting accounts between witnesses and law enforcement. The ATF claims that the shooting occurred after one of the individuals at the scene pointed an arm at the agents. However, this crucial detail is not visible in the video. The footage shows ATF agents arriving in a van, and shortly afterward, multiple gunshots are heard, with approximately a dozen shots fired. No injuries were reported, but 3 men, including Darnell Rice, were detained. Darnell Rice, identified as an armed security guard, is accused of illegally selling a modified handgun capable of automatic fire to a confidential informant for $1,800. The federal complaint alleges that Rice sold a Glock hand arm with a modification switch that could turn it into a mash gun. Rice's booking report indicates his employment as an armed security guard. A witness at the scene, who was working on a car at Rice's house, disputed the ATF's account of the incident. According to the witness, no arm was pointed at the agents, and he accused the federal agents of reckless shooting and failing to identify themselves. The witness expressed concern about being caught in the middle of an investigation that did not involve him and questioned the agent's actions. The witness's account introduces a layer of complexity to the incident, as it contradicts the ATF's version of events. He insisted that no one pointed an arm at the agents, and that the arms were inside the home. He expressed frustration, stating, "They're supposed to be here to protect and serve, but at that particular time, I felt like he wasn't doing his job and my life was in jeopardy." The video footage and witness statements prompted an investigation by the News 4 Jack's I-Team. The concerns and the video were presented to ATF supervisors, but the response indicated that the ATF is prohibited by law from providing further information at this time due to the ongoing investigation. The incident underscores the broader issues surrounding law enforcement actions, the use of force, and transparency. Conflicting narratives from witnesses and law enforcement officials highlight the importance of thorough investigations to ascertain the facts and determine the legitimacy of the agent's actions during the raid.
Pointed a gun at them. We should point out we can't see that angle from this video.
The single suspect in this case is a white male, and this is pending confirmation, but we believe the suspect to be...
And the agents detained the 3 men at the home.
And the FBI is assisting us with that leg of the investigation in Baltimore.
Number 2. Lawsuit alleges excessive force. A disturbing incident involving the arrest of ATF agent James Burke by Columbus, Ohio police officers on July 7, 2020 has resurfaced online, raising questions about the use of excessive force and law enforcement accountability. The body cam footage captured the tense moments leading to Burke's arrest and subsequent allegations of police misconduct. The video begins with officers responding to a report of a person impersonating a police officer. As they approach Agent Burke, who was investigating an alleged illegal shotgun purchase, tensions escalate rapidly. The officers repeatedly instruct Burke to get on the ground and show his hands. However, Burke appears to resist these commands, claiming to have a medical condition and asserting his identity as a federal agent. The situation takes a troubling turn as officers insist on Burke complying with their orders. Despite Burke's attempts to explain his position, the officers become increasingly forceful, demanding he get on the ground. The officers express concern over Burke not showing proper identification and the possibility of him impersonating a police officer. Burke's refusal to immediately comply intensifies the confrontation. The officers deploy a taser and Burke is brought to the ground forcefully. Amidst the struggle, Burke pleads for understanding due to his medical condition, but the officers proceed to handcuff him. The agent's pleas for help and concerns about his medical well-being are met with apparent disregard.
Federal agent.
Get on the ground!
10-3.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Fine. Why do you got to make this harder than it is? Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
Listen, I'm not getting up.
I have no problem making this.
I just want to see if anybody from the Free Precinct can respond as well.
The use of force raises questions about whether the officer's response was proportionate to the situation. Burke's lawsuit against the city of Columbus and the 2 officers involved alleges excessive force during the arrest. The body cam footage provides a visual record of the incident, allowing the public to scrutinize the actions of the police officers and the circumstances surrounding Burke's arrest. The officers' demand for compliance and their use of force, including the deployment of a taser, are central to the controversy. Burke's claim that he was attempting to provide identification and explain his status as a federal agent introduces an element of potential misunderstanding and miscommunication during the encounter. Number 1. U.S. Navy veteran's ordeal. In a shocking and distressing incident, a U.S. Navy veteran named Carlo found himself in the crosshairs of the ATF during what should have been a routine visit to purchase an arm accessory. Carlo, a retired Navy veteran with 20 years of service, had a clean criminal record and had immigrated to the U.S. from the Philippines at the age of 19. The incident occurred while Carlo was on terminal leave from the Navy, marking the end of his military service. His intention was to buy a buffer tube for a firearm from a local store. However, the situation took a nightmarish turn as ATF agents, devoid of body cameras, mistakenly associated Carlo with illegal arms dealings, leading to his handcuffing and robbery at gunpoint. Upon Carlo's arrival at the store to purchase the buffer tube, the store owner informed him that they were under ATF investigation. Initially, Carlo dismissed it as paranoia on the part of the owner. However, the situation escalated when ATF agents, lacking body cameras, swarmed the scene, converging on Carlo and the store owner. Carlo was detained, handcuffed, and subjected to a 2-hour interrogation, during which ATF agents accused him of supplying the city with illegal mash guns and solvent traps. Despite Carlo's status as a retired Navy veteran with a spotless record, the agents treated him as if he were a kingpin involved in illicit activities. What followed was a distressing episode where ATF agents confiscated over $20,000 worth of Carlo's arms and accessories from his car trunk. Shockingly, the agents took selfies with his high-end firearms, falsely accusing him of possessing illegal arms.
I'm happy to report that he is currently retired from the Navy right now, which is a big deal.
Harming others, they can cause a lot of destruction.
And I talked to him, I looked up the local ATF records, I've looked up the primary charging documents, all of those sorts of things.
And when they fall into the hands of individuals who are not supposed to have them.
And we talk about legalities and legal situations, so he is.
Adding to the gravity of the situation, the agents refused to search Carlo's vehicle when he declined to stop the video and audio recording on his Tesla. This refusal demonstrated Carlo's awareness of his rights and a desire to document the unfolding events. The incident shed light on the lack of transparency and accountability as ATF agents, without body cameras, engaged in potentially unconstitutional actions. The absence of a recording mechanism raised concerns about the veracity of the agents' claims and the need for comprehensive oversight. In the aftermath, Carlo visited the local ATF office armed with all the relevant paperwork, including tax stamps for his lawfully owned firearms. However, the agents accused him of possessing an illegal short-barreled rifle without proper documentation, despite evidence to the contrary. The ordeal, captured in a video recorded by Carlo, showcased the harrowing experience of a law-abiding citizen being wrongfully accused, detained, and robbed by ATF agents. The lack of body cameras, refusal to search the vehicle due to recording concerns, and false accusations highlighted the flaws in the ATF's handling of the situation. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.